The following video shows you how to fill and bleed a Gustav Pro disc brake. You can find information about the tools you will need in the video description. Fill the lower syringe for the brake caliper with Magura Royal Blood. Remove the wheel and push the brake pads apart as far as they will go, using the Magura transport device or a wide screwdriver. Open and remove the brake pad retaining screws and remove the brake pads. Insert 2 transport devices per brake caliper with the bleeding block side facing downwards between the brake pistons, and secure the transport devices using the brake pad retaining screws. The brake caliper must be aligned so that the oil in the lower syringe is in direct contact with the bleeder valve. There must be no air cushion between the oil and the bleeder valve. Use a 3mm Allen key to remove the plug on the brake caliper filling valve by turning it slightly. Insert the luer cone of the filled lower syringe for the brake caliper into the filling valve by turning it slightly. Use an 8mm open-end wrench to open the filling valve by half a turn counterclockwise. The oil connection is established. The brake master of the Gustav Pro only has a bleed port on one side, on the top of the right brake master. Depending on the orientation of the brake master, it must therefore be rotated for bleeding so that the bleed port is on the upper side. Align the brake master horizontally. The EBT screw should be the highest point of the system. Open the EBT screw with a Torx T25 tool. Pull out the piston of the empty upper syringe for the brake master as far as it will go. The base of the piston must be above the bleed hole at 24 mm or 30 mm. Insert the luer cone of the unfilled syringe for the brake master into the EBT opening of the brake master by turning it slightly. Slowly squeeze the Magura Royal Blood from the lower syringe into the brake system. Make sure that no air is pressed into the system and that the caliper is aligned so that oil is immediately present in the syringe at the bleeder valve. Let the brake lever snap 2 or 3 times during the bleeding process. Also pull back the oil by pulling on the plunger of the lower syringe and squeeze it back and forth until no more air bubbles are visible in the upper syringe. Make sure that no air enters the system when pulling back. Before removing the upper and lower syringe, have a clean cloth ready to remove any oil residue. Close the bleeder valve on the brake caliper with a tightening torque of 4.5 Newton-meters. Pull the lower syringe on the brake caliper out of the bleeder valve by turning it slightly and create a vacuum by pulling the piston at the same time, which draws oil residue out of the valve. Turn the plug of the filling valve clockwise using a 3mm Allen key. Now remove the upper syringe. During removal, close the hole at the 24mm or 30mm mark with your finger to prevent oil from escaping. Make sure that the oil is up to the top edge of the EBT opening. If necessary, drip some more oil from the syringe into the EBT opening. Carefully screw in the EBT screw using a T25 tool. Tighten the screw with a tightening torque of 0.5 Newton-meters. Remove any oil residue from the system. Realign the brake master accordingly. Check the function of the system after filling. Pull the brake lever several times and hold it. Oil must not leak at any point in the system. The pressure point of the brake must be clearly perceptible, it must not change. Then remove the transportation devices and insert the pads. Then refit the wheel and rotor. You'll find more information in the service section at magura.com. Your Magura dealer will also be glad to help you. If you have specific questions, you can also contact us via the chat feature on our social media channels.